Elon family. I know everybody probably at work or whatever. I see everybody mobile. Glad you tuning in. Give me 1 second. Give me my water. Peace, Noble. Peace, Noble. Hey, can you go live on our on the Temple and School page, Malik? Oh, you don't got nothing, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. I can handle it. I'll just check it. No, we good. No, we good. We good. We good. Let me see. Where the mouse at, babe? Let's see. I sent a couple of documents, man. I want to, as we do this little adapt history class, man. I want to. I don't know if you are you available to be co-host today, Noble Lamar. Malik.
Yeah. Let me minimize this. You sent it an email?
Yeah, I sent a couple emails, and then Isis sent a little video we gonna play before class in the chat. I don't know if you know how to share that.
The Moro people of the Philippines. Remember, we already talked about this. The Moro people.
Yeah, we gonna
the Philippines.
Yeah,
the Moro.
Yeah, we finna hit it. We finna hit it. We getting ready to hit it hard a little bit to do a little intensive research. But that film in there, it got that you got Mark Twain in there. Did you get that in the chat?
Which one do you want for the class? Which document?
I sent them all. Well, for class, it's like 4 of them I sent to you. I sent you the Moro people of the Philippines. The first battle of the Bud Dajo. What I do, I narrate it. So as I'm speaking, you'll be able to. You should hit right what I'm talking about because I sent all 4 to you. So I'll give you time to pull them up as I'm going. But I sent them all to you in the systematically how I want them. So the last one should be first, and the first should be last. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let me do it that way. Let me open it up that way.
It's lying. And like I said, take your time, man, because it ain't it's gonna be smooth. While you get it all together, we can play the that film in the chat. That while you getting everything prepared, if you don't mind, that YouTube one.
So let's see.
Take your time, though.
The last is first.
Yeah.
You said the last one you want first, and first is last?
Yeah.
I'll do that. Cool.
How everybody doing, man?
I'm amazing. Amazing workout.
It's not. You're looking very dapper over there, Noble Solomon. Fizzed up. You know it. Peace.
Got all of those.
Yep, Noble.
All right.
Yep.
Got him in order.
Yep. So
Oh, you know, I need to get a smaller fence too. I may have to send you back so somebody else can buy these fences. Because my head, you know, being bald, it done shrunk, I done lost weight. It's all drooping over my ears. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some old bald Yankee cap. I can't stand it.
Well, just keep them. And like I said, as we grow, you know what I mean, and we get other brothers that's in your area, those we can bless more with. Just let me know your size.
Noble Solomon's fit. That's how I want mine. You push it on there and it stank.
Yeah, that's how mine fit. That's why I got multiple fezzes. I got one fez I wear in my suits, like in the wintertime when I wear my kufi, and then it's a little bit bigger. So I put my kufi underneath it, then I put my fez on. That's so when I'm in the wintertime. And when I'm traveling back in Michigan to keep my head cold, warm. And so that's why I have multiple fezzes for multiple things. So
no, Malik, it's funny you say that, no, because I was saying like, man, I was like, hey, did my hair shrink?
Mm-hmm.
Because my black fez is similar, but it still fit well. But I could notice that after a couple months, it did, like when I put it on, goes like over my ears a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's just because I lost some weight. So,
yeah,
but it's long.
That's a great thing. That's why I tell more it's our attire. That's why when you see Moors and they have some ugly, dirty ass looking fezzes and they fez falling on over their head, that's why, because they cheap and they be borrowing stuff. Man, no, if we spend money on anything else, we need new fezzes. Our head change. You'll go buy a new fitted hat to go to the damn club each week. You see what I'm saying though? I'm just keeping it 100. And won't say nothing. Man, come on, man. You got to have multiple fez, multiple kufis, multiple tunics, multiple she-mags, multiple everything that's about you. And that's what we hear. Y'all part of the brotherhood. So you know how we do, man. We family. And family take care of family. That's the beauty of being part of a brotherhood.
Islam.
Looking very, very Morsley, Alonzo, in your turban. Look, yes, sir.
It's wrong.
Yes. Face shiny, smooth. My beard growing too. We starting to look like twins in a minute. Yeah. Yes, sir.
It's long.
I love to see my brothers looking good, man. I told you we the upper echelon of this movement. For real. So let's do our Moorish American prayer, man. And then Malik is going to start with that film and I'll narrate what we're going to be going over today in our Adapt History class. So let's do our Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah, my protector, my guide, my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Ali, Shalom Alakim, Ayah Asha Ayah, peace, 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 Assalamu alaikum. Whatever name that you give praise to that inner being, so be it. I don't care if you praise a rock. It's all on you. I give you love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And if you're not here for learning, and if you're not here for reading, we ask you to remove yourself because we on YouTube as well, Nobles. So I always like to give an introduction before we start. We're not here for games. We're not here to try to tell nobody what to do. We are a school. And if you're not here to learn, if you don't like to donate to the teachings, to our temple and school, which is Cash App $KG when we have these scheduled adapt class and Sunday school, and we put on YouTube for the people to draw you in, we ask you to get off our page respectfully. Because I'm going to block you. I tell Moors this all the time. I court Moors for months and months and months. And I say we sit that on the bump on the log and we'll do all these other things. So if Moors don't want to donate to our temple and school to Cash App $KG and get literature and get books and learn, I ask you to please log off because I'm going to block you. And I ask my nobles to write all these people IG handles down so we can block them. Because we're not here for slander and hate. We a temple and we a school. And nobody should have a problem with that. No one. If they do, I'll ask you respectfully to log off and go to the place where you were at before here. Islam? Gratitude. And like I said, people like, oh, They'll donate to all these other things. I sat and asked them, would you donate to my temple in school if you came? Man, yeah, Sheik, but I don't stay in your area. Do you have classes online? Yep. Okay. Well, what's the difference? None. No difference. So don't treat me no different. So let's put the film on, Noble. And today we're talking about history, man, to where I want to remove the hate. I want to remove the doubt of everything. Moors just think they know who someone is based on the color of a person's skin on the outside. Has nothing to do with righteousness. Has nothing to do with righteousness. This world is big. And I'm going to start showing you, even when I talk about history, man, which one thing about so-called world history, man, when I say we have to be historians and we have to remove this dogma and this religious Negro-centric and Eurocentric propaganda and deal with the facts of the matter. Like when I talk about the history of the reign of Ferdinand and Isabella, we're talking about prereqs. This is the stuff you should be sitting having conversations with your children about. Not no whole bunch of drive without no license, no goofy stuff. Playing out here playing G.I. Joe. I asked Morris, do you know the history of the reign of Ferdinand and Isabella? You got to write this stuff down. This is stuff your kids need to know. I promise you. When we talk about 1776, do we know what happened in 1776? Because this go with it. That's why I be saying there's certain things that I talk about you got to have. It's certain things that I clear out we should have before they're gone. And a lot of this stuff is in the Zulu Nation. I showed you how this is what they teach your kids in history and in academia, in Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda. And I show you how they whitewash Peter Selman and Oliver Cromwell out the Battle of Bunker Hill, right?
Yep.
Okay. And in here, it clearly shows you that all that's a lie. And we let nobody, don't no disrespect, Europeans. Oh, look at the European teaching us, but your own brother been teaching this forever. And the European is my student. That's why I laugh. I say, man, I'm not going to take no slander, no disrespect from my own people. And the European sit under my feet in real life. I'm not going to play that. I'm not. My people that I lost due to a lack of knowledge, all we want to do is party and bullshit. Right here, the unsettling truth. Then when I talk about the doctrine of discovery, all through history, you got to know this stuff. So and be attached to the wisdom for you can move righteously. If not, all those attachments, all those names people be having on Instagram don't mean shit. You ask them what school you go to, there ain't no temple in my city, but you on my page. That's why I be telling Moors we lazy. We lazy, and that's why we don't know nothing. And that's why Moore's confused, because they jump here to there to there. Man, a dog will eat anywhere they being fed. That don't mean you loyal. A stray dog will eat anywhere they smell food. Real talk, man. I know Negro be, man, we ain't even gonna go there. That's why we lost. That's why we lost, because we don't see our own brother as a prophet and an angel. And I ask all these Moors that got this Moor, this Bay, this. I say, do you know your one-on-ones? What's a prophet and an angel? I'm done. I'm done. How can a man say they love God they never seen but hate their brother that represents that essence? Crazy.
And the likeness and in the image.
Craziness. And we rock it. That's why I said, man, we lost. That's why I said I can imagine the children that go with these crazy men. I can imagine the mental health of a lot of men is crazy. I'm saying this, man, because a man to get on the internet and just go belligerent. Ain't nobody tell you to come on my page. Ain't nobody say none of that. We got to get back to true teaching. This is who we are. You're not a Moor on the internet. You want to have this confidence. This is a resurrection. This ain't no game. You ain't finna file nothing and magically get nothing. If you a bum mentality and you ain't gonna learn, you're gonna be a bum with a fez on.
Let's clear the air, because Moor don't have nothing to do with your skin complexion.
Come on, Noble. And that's where, come on, and we gotta get there. When one more jumped in my page, Moor is the bloodline. I said, what bloodline? I said, okay, well, show me this person and tell me what blood is in their skin. You don't even know. You don't even know. We so blind, Malik, with hate and this niggardly stuff. So can you play the film real fast, and then we gonna narrate. We gonna teach today.
So hold on, that's the one I gotta find, because that's in the text string, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because I'm on my computer, so that's not on. Let me email it to myself.
Yeah, take your time, man.
Pull it up.
Take
you
your
go
time.
ahead and continue talking. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Yes, sir. But as Noble's going to play some films, man, a lot of people like names like Philippines. When people started doing true history, I said you have no idea of the blood that's in a person's veins because what they look like. You don't know. You don't know the world. We've been all over this world. Just like the Olmec is the Mexico. You don't even know. When I tell people when they go to Cancun, I say, well, go to the Olmec Museum. So when you talk about the Philippines, you don't know that those are the Moro people. You don't know this. All this stuff is old history. They've been sitting in your Britannicas. You know, the World Britannicas that's been sitting on people's shelves back in the day. They used to have commercials trying to sell you Britannicas. Remember that?
Encyclopedia.
Yeah. Well, I got them all. I showed y'all the picture when I was little in front of there, and my mom was all she used to buy me for kids is fucking books and dictionaries. I used to be fucking pissed. Excuse my candor.
Because my dad used to have a whole set at the crib.
They right in there. That's why I be laughing. I say all this stuff. Oh, they hid stuff. They ain't hid nothing from you. You talk about something. He ain't nothing hidden. Ain't nothing hidden under the sun. You just haven't been introduced to it. And that's what most NBCs do. So as they don't understand something, or they start dissing it. Niggerly. That's why they ain't a part of nothing. Oh, you a part of association. You're supposed to be a part of something. You're not no rogue.
Right.
We're going to talk about the Battle of the Bud Dajo, 1906. We're going to talk about all this stuff. And then, as I'm speaking of this, Nobles, get your pens, because I always give you reference and books. While we're talking, another one of my Nobles can do something. Pull up right now.
I got it up now when you're ready.
Yep. Okay, so pull a film up, Noble. And as I'm talking, I want y'all, before we play the film, you got to write these books down. Because I want you, and I got them, I'll send them to y'all. Because like I told Morris, we got to stop going to goddamn Amazon buying, giving our, no disrespect, I don't like to say names, giving our money to, we say the powers that be. And then here it is, a more that got mypdfbooks.com, books with the Z, that got all the books and PDF that you can get for half the price. Download to your tablet, or if you want to write in them, Office Max or Staple, you can send the email and the PDF, and they'll bind it for you for a fee. We should not be giving our money away. All the books that Morris be happy paying $200, $300, $400 for, we got them for a fraction of the price. I went on Amazon and got a Zoom Another Nation for $200. Goofy, we got a PDF for $75. And if your book burn up, what, you screwed? And then they only get pennies off the money. Malik, ask my sister how much she get off her book that they sell on Amazon. Cause I know.
Pennies.
You goddamn right. Pennies. So people be lying. I know how much they getting off that goddamn Exhuming of the Nation. They sell on Amazon for $200. See, they ain't gonna tell you the truth. I know what they getting. Pennies.
What are the books?
Okay. The first book is the Moro War. Look it up on Amazon when you the Moro War. MOROWARRIOR. And when people look up books on Amazon, that's why I have them for a fraction of the price. I don't give a damn if a book on Amazon for $10. You'll get it from me for $5. The PDF.
You said the Moro Warrior?
Warrior. Yeah, I'm sorry. A Philippine chieftain, an American schoolmaster, and the untold story of the most remarkable resistance fighters of World War II in the Pacific by Thomas McKenna.
Thomas.
McKenna. McKenna. Thomas McKenna.
Okay.
And then when you look at the cover of it, when you be like, wait a minute, these brothers, yeah.
Okay.
The next one is Moroland by Robert A. Fulton. The history of Uncle Sam and the Moros, 1899 from 1920. See, we ain't gonna let nobody play no games. We ain't set tripping over here, man. That's why our prophet said this is uniting of Asia. Moors ain't getting it.
Okay.
And the next, the Moro War, how America battled a Muslim insurgency in the Philippine jungles from 1902 to 1913.
Who's that by?
I forgot. I gotta find it, man. I was writing it down. I gotta go. I forgot. I totally forgot.
I think that second part, the Moro War of what?
The Moro. How America battled a Muslim insurgency. INSURGENCY in the Philippine jungles, 1902 to 1913. I'll find the right reference for you.
You said how they battled it. You said Islam insurgency.
How America battled a Muslim insurgency in the Philippine jungle, 1902 to 1913. When you're gonna start revealing stuff to you like, wait a minute. And as we lecture today, it's just gonna be amazing. We ain't even gonna go all deep. We're just gonna touch on some avenues and give you American history. Then we out of here. See, just like the Tasmanian in Australia, what y'all think will happen to him?
Oh, when they sent all them European slaves over there, they sent all them courtesans and thieves over there. They got together and took over and destroyed all their land and brought disease to them people. And
killed them and tortured them, just like the Doctrine of the Discovery. And just killed, and just like the Jamaican Maroons, just like a lot of like in one part of history, a lot of Moors were sent to Nova Scotia.
They did it here too.
Yeah. So we talking about history, excuse my candor, NBC stuff. So let's play the film.
Video, YouTube. Oh. Can y'all see it?
Nope.
You can't see the film?
Nope.
Where is it?
I see your face.
Y'all see the film?
Nope.
Let me see how I can share my screen, because that's what I put on there.
If not, I can log off of the Temple School page and play it. I can just hold it up on my phone because we on YouTube. You know, Moors, a lot of Moors on us, they don't donate, so it don't matter. I can just log off.
Can y'all see?
Yeah, I can see that.
You could see it just a second ago, huh?
Yeah, you got your background on now. It's kind of.
My camera, my bad. Hold on, I know why I did it. It was a goof up on my part. All right, now y'all can see it.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, remember I told y'all Mark Twain, what, like a lot of people always want to get in on the goody stuff, but Mark Twain wrote in history, I got all his books, and some of his books he was calling you Negro Black, and everybody was like, oh, we don't like to be called Negro Black. And he said, all right, then, F it then. I'll call y'all MF slaves. So he changed it from Negro Black, all his books, to slave, because it's synonymous. Think about it. Think about it.
Yeah. What is it? Status.
Yeah. Go ahead, play the film, Noble. Got some volume. I don't hear no volume.
Can y'all hear?
Nope.
No, Malik, you gotta be sure when you're sharing on Zoom with your YouTube, you gotta click that button when you hit share. For YouTube, it says add audio. It should be like in the bottom left where it's a little box.
Oh yeah.
If you stop sharing it or share now, you can hit it's wrong.
Is that it right there?
So to liberate people from tyranny.
Is that better?
Yep. Start it over.
Motives were power. The expansion of the nation westward and then overseas is presented as bringing civilization and liberty to other people. When the U.S. invaded Cuba, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines in 1898, it claimed to be doing so to liberate people from tyranny. But the real motives were power and profit. Mark Twain is famous as the author of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. What is not so well known is that he was an opponent of American expansion and spoke powerfully against the war in the Philippines. When President Theodore Roosevelt congratulated an American general whose troops had just massacred 600 Filipino villagers, Mark Twain responded with bitter irony.
General Wood's order was kill or capture the 600. So the battle began. Our forces firing down onto the crater with their artillery and their deadly small arms of precision The official report stated that the battle was fought with prodigious energy on both sides during a day and a half, that it ended with a complete victory for the American arms. That of the 600 Moros, not one was left alive.
Pause it. So now, just like I was showing you in Thomas Jefferson Quran, the one where they call you Berber, call you pirate, they call you Corsicans. First they call him Filipino, then they said Moros, didn't they?
Yeah.
Why? Because they the same people. That's why I be telling Moors they out here playing the game. That's why I tell Moors they all getting ready to go to jail because they playing, because they don't know who they are. They out here playing. You got a whole bunch of ex-military people that was low rank playing G.I. Joe, mad at the government. That's some sovereign citizen European stuff. I'm telling you facts. What I know for a fact. Anybody in the military that came out, you signed the oath for life. When the Trump be called, you can go back. Y'all don't even know this.
For the military. You talking about the military?
Yeah.
Oh, that's any military.
And we let Moors out here playing, talk about this or sign this. No, this is serious life. So that's why I'm telling Moors, I always say, if Moors don't want to learn and they jump on our page, we got to block you. Because we here to learn. If you come to class, we want Moors to introduce themselves, not just come in our house with their dirty ass shoes and our carpet white. And you've been out in the tailing all day. You won't come to the door, knock on the door to see how we come in the house. You just, whoop, I'm gonna come have a seat. We don't play that.
No, what's the GI stand? What's the word for GI?
You tell me.
Does anybody know?
I know.
Does anybody else know?
No.
Government issue.
That's correct. So when you sign up your contract to be part of the military, you are now property of whatever said government you signed up for. You are no longer in control of yourself. That's exactly what Noble just said. For life. And you talk about you in the military, I ain't taking no shot. I bet your ass is taking a shot. I don't know who you think you're talking to. I think the only way you get out of that is what, a dishonorable discharge?
No, your ass going to jail. You ain't getting out of nothing. You're gonna be in the jail in the military. Real talk. So proceed, Noble.
As far as I can find out, there was only one person among our 80 millions who allowed himself the privilege of a public remark on this great occasion, and that was the President of the United States. I congratulate you and the officers and men of your command upon the brilliant feat of arms wherein you and they so well upheld the honor of the American flag. Signed, Theodore Roosevelt. I was never so enthusiastically proud of the flag until now.
You hear that?
I hate this invention right here, but I think that you're going to love it.
You hear that, Noble? Did we see that little intro?
What, this one here?
What we just played? What you just played?
You want to see the intro?
No.
He said something about not being as proud or something of the American flag as in that moment.
Right.
After they done killed all those people and took over, just like the Doctrine of Discovery, just like all over, just like now let's play the first part of the class, the email. Man, do y'all know what Winston Churchill did? Yes or no? See, all the stuff that they praise in school, when I tell people, man, I shoot from the lip, not the hip. I deal with scholarship. Man, they got in Michigan, they got a little bar called Churchill's. Got pictures of Winston Churchill all in there. I know all the people in there. I mean, I'm from Flint. I sit there and ask people, I said, do y'all know what Winston Churchill did? It's full of Europeans. Oh, he was the I said, let me show y'all. No disrespect, because a lot of people just don't know, or they play it, act like they don't know. So I have a history lesson. Everybody's face went long. After I showed the real history, face went long. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
We got time to be playing, man. This ain't no time to be playing, especially with your own people.
You said you want me to share the what?
The first little part of the email, however one you got first. We just gonna go through it, then we out of here. So,
You said the first is
yeah, this fine. This is good. This is good. This is great. This is great. Go through it. Can y'all read it? Can y'all narrate it, please, for me?
America's first endless wars was fought in the Philippines. The Moro War, an ill-fated military campaign that bring in 1899, in a grim reminder of our long and ongoing history of
Imperialism.
Imperialism. The description of the battle. Oh, let me pull it down so you can see the picture. The description of the Battle of Bagsake, which was founded in June 1913, near the end of the Moro War. U.S. Army Center of Military History. Editor's notes. The article originally appeared at TomDispatch.com. To stay on the top of important articles like these, sign up. So never mind, I don't need to read that. Sorry.
But also, I'm gonna show you all this stuff is in the Library of Congress as well. I'm gonna show you the pictures of the soldiers taking pictures with all the people they massacred. All the shit is in the Library of Congress. All of it. Proceed.
For a decade and a half, the U.S. Army waged war on fierce tribal Muslims in a remote land. Sound familiar?
What'd you say, Noble? On what?
It says, sound familiar?
Yeah. Hey, Noble.
It means everywhere else in the world.
Remember when I went to the Herb Museum and we have our third meet and greet when y'all come out here, when I take y'all to the Herb Museum, I'm gonna take you in the part where they where they came to Arizona and they just stripped all when Europeans colonized. They came out here and stripped all the indigenous people of their culture, made them take off their cultural clothing, shave their fucking heads, change their names, all this shit. It's all in the Herb Museum. All in the Herb Museum. Everywhere they went, they destroyed and killed. Fucking period.
Period. Back. You all right?
Yep.
As it happens, the war unfolded half a world away from greater Middle East and more than a century ago in the southernmost islands of the Philippines. Back then, American soldiers fought not the Taliban, but the Moros, intensely independently Islamic tribesmen with a similar story recorded of resisting foreign invaders. Precious few days have ever heard of. Did I read that right? Yeah, precious few days have ever heard of American Moro War, fought from 1899 to 1913. But it was until Afghanistan, one of America's longest sustained military campaigns.
Somebody else take over and read, man. We're gonna read together. Come on. Somebody else.
Popular thinking assumes that the United States wasn't meaningfully entangled in the Islamic world until Washington became embroiled in the Islamist Iranian Revolution and the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, both in the pivotal year of 1979. It simply isn't so. How soon we forget that the Army, which had fought prolonged guerrilla wars against Native Americans throughout the 19th century, went on often led by veterans of those Indian wars to wage a counterinsurgency war on Islamic Moros in the Philippine Islands at the start of the new century, a conflict that was an outgrowth of the Spanish-American War.
Noble.
Yep.
That right there, that Spanish-American War, because then we got to talk about the secret treaty of Verona.
Yep.
Because when you talk about Muslims, Jews, when you talk about these ones that they didn't have or they weren't going against the Muslims, like you said, that was a fallacy because we got to understand that this was already documented that these forces would be coming together to uproot the indigenous people.
Islam. When we talk about the Moors rule Spain or the Jews rule Spain, I keep telling people who you think the Jews are. I give historical reference. The European is the sun. I show y'all in Nigeria, the Igbo and the Igbo is the Jew genetically. I mean, it ain't no question. I don't even know why Moors and Negroes, everybody still having these dialogues on this goofy stuff. It's like, that's barbershop talk.
So are you saying that they studied Islam when they were Jews?
Yeah. I showed y'all the Islamic and the Jewish connection. It ain't nothing but catechism. Y'all got the science.
I was just being.
I know you were. I'm being sarcastic too. I know, but we on the same level, Noble. That's why I love my brothers. We being sarcastic. People to be like, they have no clue. They have no clue. They going against themselves. Isaac and Ishmael is brothers. This is the Moorish Ishmaelite. These Negroes crazy. Proceed, Noble.
That campaign is all but lost to history and the collective American memory. A basic Amazon search for Moro War, for instance, yields just 7 books, half of them published by U.S. military war colleges, while a similar search for veteran war lists no less than 10,000 titles. Which is curious. The war in the southern Philippines wasn't just 6 years longer than conventional American military operations in Vietnam, but also resulted in the awarding of 88 Congressional Medals of Honor and produced 5 future Army Chiefs of Staff.
You hear that, Noble? They got 88 Congressional Medal of Honor.
Honor of what? Christianity.
Of murdering all these people.
Right.
And they produced 5 future Army Chiefs of Staff. Listen to this. 5 future Army Chiefs of Staffs. I'm talking about, I'm going to show you through history. So, like I show y'all American War, I showed y'all Thomas Jefferson Quran. You talk about somebody fighting for your freedom. No, they not.
Nope.
Just like when these Negroes go to jail with that cliche shit, we go to jail for the problem. No, you not. No, you not. You ain't going to jail for me.
No, sir.
Proceed, no.
While the insurgency in the northern islands of the Philippines had fizzled out by 1902, the Moro rebels fought on for another decade. As Lieutenant Benny Flores, later a general and the father of Army aviation, reflected, the Filipino insurrection was mild compared to the difficulties we had with the Moros.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
And see, watch this. Watch this. I'm going to show y'all how they play a word game when I tell you about linguistics. So when me and my wife went to Puerto Rico, and so when you research the history of the Puerto Rico, what they did to the natives, they play a linguistic word game. They play a linguistic word game. They talk about the natives killed the indigenous people and all this. They like, man, miss that shit. It's just like what they did in the Congo. When Leopold went to Congo and everybody talk about the Moors killed this. No, man, you come in there, people scared right now. They'll kill their own brother for 50 cents. Man, Leopold put that feds, them brother came with that power, and that's how it was. So we got to get with the true history and stop playing. Think about this now. Capture it. Stuff been happening forever. We got to get out of this. These people did this or these Moors did this. Man, Hitler regiment were the feds. Hitler regiment was under Islam. What y'all talking about? What?
It's behind Christianity.
I mean, they playing a game, man. And everybody know they playing a game. Because they under the wrong type of Islam. The Islam that they under is some stuff that we not talking about. And all true Europeans, they know what I'm saying. They know it. This is something that's within. They know it. That's why Islam, the true Islam, at the Sufi and the Tasawwuf, we ain't talking about nothing outside of ourselves. Just like the true manifestation of the Christ within. Just like everything. It's nothing outside of ourselves. That's why we don't gravitate to one essence where we miss the science of the rest. That's why it's called more science. understanding that man and God is made in the image of Elohim. Islam? Proceed, Noble.
Here are the relevant points when it comes to the Moro War, which will sound grimly familiar in a 21st century forever war context. The United States military shouldn't have been there in the first place. The war was ultimately an operational and strategic failure, made more so by American hubris, and it should be seen in retrospect as using a term General David Petraeus applied to our present African war, the nation's first generational struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. Islam, Noble. Somebody else want to take over? I'll read. Where we at? Right here. More than a century after the U.S. Army disengaged from Moro land, Islamists and other regional insurgencies continued to plague the southern Philippines. Islam? Islam. Indeed, the post-9/11 fusion of the U.S. Army Special Forces into America's former colony should probably be seen as only the latest phase in a 120-year struggle with the Moros. That's why as we learn, man, and as we travel, and I tell Moors, and I try to ask Moors to relax, because a lot of stuff we don't know about, and a lot of Moors be under religious things. I said that Buddha was a Buddhist, was Christian under Christianity. There's so much stuff, and we get excited, and I say, man, I hear people, but that religious stuff is not what it is. I promise you.
It separates us.
Yeah, come on, it does it all the time. I'll be laughing. That's why I'll be like, look, that's why you got Moors, Hebrew Israelite, Egypt, they all arguing. They all got some. I said, how can you come up with a different science? It's like, how, if you say you read the Metanetter, how can everybody come up with something different? You can't. It's religious dogma. And that's what it is. We want to be so right. We want to be so different, so bad. And I'll be like, dude, forget I love our prophet, but even before our prophet, when I talk about this Sufism, when I talk about Sheikh Bamboo Falls, when I talk about Credo Matua, when I talk about all the stuff before then, we never prayed to none outside of ourselves. Before it was a colonizing book, what do you think you were under? Not no praying to no man or to no deity or to no thing.
It says all holy books say not to do that anyway.
Come on. And that's what I said. We get so caught up in man-made things. I said, dude, I know where people do go to. We always show both hands. And that's why I tell Moors to be slow to speak.
Islam also, I read talking about Islam was practiced in Kemet for like over 900, I think it was like 900 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they was doing that back in the ancient times.
Yeah. Proceed, Mo. Oh, my fault. What's up with me? I'm sorry. I was just looking for something. I'm sorry. But yeah, we have to do that, man.
Practice tonight before we can even drink water.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah. And we let so many books separate us. I say, dude, when I see my brothers, because they don't even understand my root is IDMR. When I show them divine metaphysical, our text that show you that man made in the image of Elohim, and all my Hebrew Israelite brothers, they use all these modern English terms. And I said, man, come on. I know they love the Old Testament Apocrypha. They love those books, but I say, have anybody ever educated you on the books to when a person to relax and breathe and show you what it's saying? Never. We argue with other people on the corners, and I said, but this is a European talking about wanting to go back to captivity, not you. It's clear, but I know what we want to do. We want to argue, but I have no time for that.
Yeah, I had a discussion with an Indian Englishman, and I mean an Indian from India, but he's from England. He's born and raised in England, right? Mm-hmm. And I had my Om on, and I had my Allah chain on. Mm-hmm. And And he was like, "Oh, what's that?" I explained what is Allah. But I also explained to him that Om and Allah symbol are the same symbol, just reconfigured.
Mm-hmm.
And I said they're all just about oneness,
Mm-hmm.
coming together, God, man, coming together. And he was like, "Well, they are the same." Well, in today's society, I was like, "Well, today's society, you talking about modern stuff? I ain't talking about modern stuff.
Nope.
What I'm wearing is."
Yep. Just like the yin and the yang.
Right. And he was like, "Well, today they won't understand." I said, "Yes, I agree. Today they won't understand. But just because they don't understand, don't mean what I'm saying is not true."
Point blank. Point blank. Point blank. And we're not gonna let nobody pick our stuff up and rock it. The analogy I talk about, Michael Jordan playing Larry Bird for the Big Mac. That analogy, people don't look at it. They have nothing to offer. That's the satanic spirit to tell you that your shit ain't nothing for you to put all the stuff on that's holy in your garments and be modern while they rock your shit and they say they're the ancient one. No. They'll rock your turban. They'll rock your she-mag. They'll rock your holy garments. They'll rock your bonnet. They'll put a dot on their head to show the outward. All the stuff, but we won't. We scared to get fed to the turban and all that and be a part of who we are. And the European is my student. I'm just keeping it 100. Our prophet said the European helped me. Why not you? That's why I laugh at Negroes when I see it with that goofy stuff. Talk about Moors getting arrested. No, criminals with feds are getting arrested. I'm in Arizona. I speak like this everywhere. Please. And when I wear my yarmulke, all the stuff. That's why I be telling people. I lecture everywhere. I know Jewish priests, all that stuff. The Jewish priest called me the rabbi. That's why I be laughing. The ones that people be praying to, I be like, they have no idea. I said, I bet you most of these Negroes that think they smart, and I call them shade tree mechanics. I bet you they won't debate no professors and no damn attorneys. I bet you they won't do that. I bet you they'll be afraid to do that. So, soldiers and officers streaming into what they dubbed Moro land at the turn of the century might as well have been entering Afghanistan in 2001 and 22. So go up, pull it up some. So the Moro Island, you went too far, Noble. Gratitude. The Moro Island of Mindanao alone is larger than Ireland. Just like when we talk about, people talk about Africa, this. I said, man, you could put, the continent of Africa is so big, you could put so much in there. Just like when we talk about the one world Tartarians. I said, man, Moors are so off. Moors are so off because they religiously crazy. No disrespect. They get caught with the internet and think that's more science. What? Debating. That's what they think more science is. I said, if you want to debate so much, take your ass on campus and debate. Ain't gonna do that. What they do is diss European. Oh man, European is a white man. This, and I say, where you work at? Who you work for? The white man. Who you staying at? The white man. Where you get your car for? The white man. Shut the hell up. What grocery store you go to? The white man. Man, so what you talk about? Your whole fucking life is a contract with the white man. Fuck is you talk about? Dumb stuff. And then the one that's on Section 8, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Because the government your daddy.
No energy. We don't need to give them no energy.
Yeah. The more than 369 southern Philippine islands also boasted nearly impassable, undeveloped terrain, 36,000 square miles of jungle and mountains with just 50 miles of paved roads when the Americans arrived. So impurable was the landscape that soldiers called remote areas, the boondocks, a corruption of the Tagalog word, boondock, and it entered the American vernacular.
Moving up.
Yes, the Moros, named for the Muslim Moors, ejected from Spain in 1492. Yeah, come on, Noble. The Moros, named for the Muslim Moors, ejected from Spain in 1492, were organized by family, clan, and tribe. Huh? Family, clan, and tribe. Islam, which had arrived via so-called, now here we go with the bullcrap, Arab traders 100 years earlier, provided the only unifying force for the baker's dozen of cultural linguistic groups of the islands. Now let's deal with some scholarship again. Now, we talk about the Arabs. Y'all got the book by Bertram Thomas, the Arabs. Tell you who exactly the Arabs are. Then we get with the other our Hicks dictionary, the ARAP. by Vladimir Dale's dictionary. What is the 1863 dictionary or whatever? Oh, that. Yeah, it would tell you what the ARAP consists of, not ARAB. So that's another linguistic. We deal in scholarship. The European agree with me. So if any Negro, Black, Moor, anything out here acting crazy, let them do that. So that's another fact check. Intertribal, which people do now. Warfare was endemic, but more than matched by a historic aversion to outside invaders. In their 3 centuries of rule in the Philippines, the Spanish never managed more than a marginal presence in Moro land. Come on, man. Think about this now. They telling you. The Spanish never had in Moro land. They telling you. Like these people, it was a lot. There were other similarities. Both Afghans and Moros adhered to a weapons culture. Just like sheiks, they wore their dagger and all that stuff. Every adult male Moro wore a blade, and when possible, sported a firearm. Both modern Afghans and 19th century Moros often used American occupiers as a cudgel to settle tribal feuds. The Moros even had a precursor to the modern suicide bomber, a juramentado, who ritualistically shaved his body hair and donned white robes before fanatically charging to his death in blade-wielding fury against American troops. And see, this was just war tactics. This wasn't what people doing now. That's how they twist the shit, because people was coming over and invading them. And so people like, they finna come blow us our heads off anyway, make us put all on this stuff, make us put on our feds and then chop all the kids' heads off. We might as well strap up and run and blow some shit up. And I'm talking about then. I ain't talking about now. I ain't with all that shit. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm just narrating history. This is history. History must be revealed. History is always told from the person that lost. That's why when you look at a lot of these history books, you'll never see it from the tribal people. It's always from army generals. This, that. What? I just gave you history.
That's what happened when you send your kids to their school.
Yes. Come on. Can you close that on there? Nobody got, oh, that me. Okay. So fearful of them and respectful of their incredible ability to weather gunshot wounds were U.S. soldiers that the Army eventually replaced the standard issue 38 caliber revolver with the more powerful Colt 45 pistol. When after defeating the Spanish fleet in Manila Bay and forcing them quick surrender on the garrison there, the United States annexed the Philippines via the 1898 Treaty of Paris. Now, here we go talk about treaties. Well, all Moors want to talk about treaties. I'll be laughing. I said, man, United States broke every fucking treaty. What you ain't finna do to have to talk about some treaty? What treaty? They always got some treaty because they want some, that always criminals that's going to jail, which we always illuminate. Oh, I'm some Sundry Moore Act, and I got some Zodiac Law. Okay, well, Zodiac Law, you still going to jail. Sundry Moore Act, you still in prison for 25 years. Stop playing. And when after defeating the Spanish fleet in Malaya, okay, I gave y'all that. Okay, but the Moros weren't consulted. Spanish rule had always been tenuous in their territories, and few Moros had even heard of Paris. They certainly had accepted that American rule. That's why when I tell y'all, man, when in the Congo, when I talk about I ain't even calling King Leopold, and when he and Patrice Lumumba, how they executed Patrice Lumumba, right?
Yeah.
I tell people today, people don't even be cultured enough. I say, man, dude, I said, here it is. Leopold was sponsored by some other Europeans to come over there and take over for the black gold and all this. And everybody gonna say some Moors did this and don't know the conquest. But they don't say the same thing about Leopold had another brother when he did in Italy, because we'd get with that propaganda and we'll let people confuse us, talk about Africa was named after a European. And we destroyed that in scholarship on a college campus. Man, all the professors came when I was doing my oral dissertation. I illuminated that. I illuminated the fake ass Willie Lynch. I illuminated all that, showed it was all fake. And they said, we just let y'all do it. Showed you. I showed you that your boy that wrote some damn Roots was fake. Alex Haley Roots, show how he plagiarized that from a European named Harold Colander, and the European Harold Colander made that shit up. The roll with that damn out of Africa slavery shit, all pseudo. This is my oral dissertation. My oral dissertation, I proved that a lot of those so-called fake brothers that be Egyptologists, they be using the European Zachariah Stitch and the Anunnaki. I proved that was some pseudo and he Freemason. Because I'm initiated, and showed that was crap. I showed that the Anunnaki was the Iberian. They always come with this fake shit. And we promulgate it like some aliens. We do that to each other. We do that.
Yeah.
These are just facts. The European agree with everything I'm saying. If not, ain't no way I would have went on academic. They would like, this Negro crazy. I spoke just like this. I destroyed Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda. That was my whole oral dissertation. And I removed religious propaganda. That's why when I came out all the books that y'all got, that I gathered in divine and divinely prepared, I did this shit on a college campus in front of all professors. They sat on their hands. They couldn't say shit. They were sweating. But what can you say?
They was sweating.
Yes. Ask my mom, ask my dad. My empress right here. One of my professors hit me up, talk about he ain't like my candor. Man, I illuminated him so much. His manager, all college professors have managers. His manager was like, I want to apologize to you, sir. He must don't know who you are, blah, 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 blah. They was like, oh, you must be some Illuminati because your information is this. I said, no, y'all know what it is. Ask my parents. I be telling y'all real stuff. This is true history. This is true science. This ain't no fake shit. When y'all come out here, when everybody come out Arizona, you see how we be treated. You see how doors be open. This ain't no walk with your chest out. It's just what it is.
Man, you know what? Somebody said something about Arizona, right? They was like, oh, you gonna get treated. I said, no, I've been to Arizona. I said, I done bought land. We done bought land in Arizona. We didn't travel and look at other land. And we ain't getting none of what you talking about.
Nope. We went to a whole hick town, remember? Me, you, and Lamarck. We went to a whole tick town, fairs out, regalian out. I'm glad to see all of y'all fairs. Oh, I'm glad to see you guys buying land. Oh, gratitude to you guys.
I was like, I ain't get that response.
Yeah.
You might have.
Yeah. Because they ain't right. Malik, they know who we are when we coming through the door. I keep telling people, who sent you? They know who we are. They know who I am. And they know I don't play that shit. Everybody know I'm standing on truth. I'll stand it right there like anybody on some bullshit around me. Well, yep, then you got to go to jail, brother. I'll put some on your books.
Until you get right.
Until you damn right. But early on, U.S. Army forces deployed to Moroland contribute to the local sense of independence. General John Bates, eager to focus on a daunting Filipino uprising on the main islands, signed an agreement with Moro tribal leaders, pleading that the United States would not meddle with their rights and dignities or their religious customs, including slavery. Now, here again, a treaty, it was broke. I told you. They said they won't interfere. And y'all talk about these tribal lands and all this. I say, man, the government own this shit. Man, I'm in Arizona. I take on the tribal land. That shit worse than the projects. Women be coming up missing on their own tribal land. So nobody can step and tell you get a whole bunch of motherfuckers that's poor and ain't right and they grab about that shit is trash. I'm telling you what I know facts. And this ain't no hate. I'm telling you facts. It's government ran, just like the fucking projects.
Yeah, you signed a contract.
I'm telling you facts. It's just like the raggedy ass project hood. It's the same shit. No disrespect. You want a cheap ass living. That's what you want? This is what you niggas want for this bullshit? For some government assistance, some change, and all these skills y'all have? The Amish ain't acting like that. I told you, I know the Amish. One of my homeboys I graduated with, Khalid, Moro, Amish. That's who I got introduced to the land. They own 200 acres. He be laughing. He be like, well, I don't even know why Moore's making videos talk about some, what was that about the pregnancy. He said, man, Sheik, I know your people ain't worried about that. He like, you a tribal leader. Y'all got y'all midwives. That Roe versus Wade. He said, those only Negroes and citizens worried about that. I be cracking up. I say, yep. So all that stuff people be talking about, you ain't ready to do nothing. Period. Because we won't even support something that we know is real. But whatever his intentions, that agreement proved little more than a temporary expedient until the war in the North was won. That Washington saw the relationship with those tribal leaders as anglonious to its past ones with savage Native American tribes was lost on the Moros. See, they always called you savages. The doctrine of discovery, we ain't going to the Indians, all this native, some damn heathens. Page up. Is that it?
Nope.
We'll give a little bit more. We'll get out of here. Let me see. Though the base argument held only as long as it was convenient for American military and political leaders, it was undoubtedly the best hope for peace in the islands. The limited initial U.S. objectives in Moroland, like the similarly constrained goals of the initial CIA Special Forces invasion of Afghanistan, when all this stuff was, why we're going to do something.
2001.
Come on. Most advocate the full abrogation of the base agreement. The result was war. Page up. You know, I'm skipping through it, man, because I done read this a million times, and y'all can read it for yourself. That's why I give you these things so you can read for yourself, and it mean more when you read it over and over and over. You're going too far, Noble. Go back down just a little bit. Come back down a little bit. You're going too far. Okay, right there. Okay, when the Moros responded with act of banditry and random attacks on American sentries, punitive military expeditions were launched. In the first such instance, General Adam Chaffer, later Army Chief of Staff. Remember I showed y'all in the Thomas Jefferson Quran, when that's what the war to, sing it, Isis, from the war to, come on, y'all, my Army people.
Oh, that's the battles of Tripoli. My bad.
Come on, sing it, Isis. Come on, sing it real fast, Isis. Come sing it. And they ask me who they talking about.
From the shores of Montezuma. No, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
Oh,
We fight our country's battles in the land, on air, and sea. That's it.
So, what you think they talking about? The war against the... come on, y'all. This is the time. This is the book. I be telling. I said, dude, I did this in college. They always talk about they lying. It's right here. This is the Quran, Thomas Jefferson's library. I did a lecture on this in college, and I came back and did it with Moors. That's why I be laughing. I'm like, how we got something different? And the European agree with me. I'm giving my brothers real history. Like, what are we doing?
They agree with real history.
It's right. It's right here. And then I show y'all in the other one with the Moro on it and how they showed you all the stuff in the States they got from going to Morocco. All the flowers to here, they got it. Remember, it was gift the Sultan was bringing. I showed y'all that in the other book. Hold on. It's there. Like, there's certain things. What I do right here. It's right here. That's why I be saying, I be asking more, do they read the preface? It's like we be out here arguing over nothing. They know. History was recorded. It's nothing to argue about. Like, we out here playing. Here go the other one, Thomas Jefferson's other Quran. So what we arguing about? Right in the preface, Noble, listen to this. Here go the European, Dennis Spellberg. When they talk about she done a great job, but I did this dissertation on the college campus. All the professors was there. So she talked about she was recovering the spirit and substitute of Thomas Jefferson's vision of true religious liberty. For Jefferson and many of his founding colleagues, the shift from toleration to liberty marked a profound change, extending protection and, yes, sanctuary to those of any faith whatsoever, including those of no faith. Now, we can go all the way back, Noble Solomon, to Freemasonry. You know damn well no European ain't creating no Freemasonry. I gave y'all the documents and showed y'all who they was initiated in Freemasonry. So when people be lying and stuff, we got the documents, man, from history. Ain't no European came up with no Freemasonry. Hell, George D.M. James stole a legacy and tell you that Socrates and Plato and Aristotle wasn't no best thinkers or none of that. So we steady playing. And we don't look at our brother as the true prophet and angel. Sad as hell. By focusing on Jeffersonians' understanding of Islam, Spellberg tells a fresh story, engaging fashion, and shows us that the path, while surely not perfect, still has much to teach us all these years. Listen to this. In this groundbreaking book, Spellberg explores how America's founding fathers intended religious tolerance as a key American ideal, not only for various Protestant groups, and then I can show y'all the other book, that Protestant, and the Moors talk about Christian, under that Christian Protestant shit, you still was a black slave, and then Moors talk about, they finna go to court with their goddamn baptism paper. Man, your ass a black slave still. I went to school for, man, I'm telling you, I got a dual master's degree in Christian education, first century and first century linguistics, and minor in marketing and history, all that. So can't nobody tell me this is facts. They know it. Oh, you get baptized by some, you're a Protestant and you got some damn baptism certificate and you take that to court, talk about I'm free, still a slave. As her book explores the tolerant attitudes toward Catholics, Jews, and Muslims, led key early American thinkers to consider religious freedom in the widest possible terms. It offers a crucial corrective to those who today resist the nation's inherited blueprint for religious pluralism. In tracing the transatlantic development of these ideas, Spielberg has laid critical groundwork for those interested in European and American perceptions of Islam and religious diversity at the time of the founding fathers of the United States. Man, why y'all think when all the Europeans went to Egypt and all that and wanted Leopold, one of the kings, he was like, hell, he wanted to be initiated as a Muslim pharaoh. I'll show y'all got that. I done talked about this plenty of times. They know I'm telling the truth. Real talk. But Ali Asani, professor and director at the Prince Ali bin Talib Islamic Studies program at Harvard University, Thomas Jefferson Quran examines the intersection during the nation's founding era of two continuous themes in culture: wars, that we just been talking about, the relationship of Islam to America, the proper relationship between church and state. That's why they want to remove church and state. The story that it tells ought to be familiar to most Americans, as is familiar to historians of the nation's founding. And yet, by using Islam as her book's touchstone, Spielberg brings illuminating freshness to an oft-told tale. This is a European lady. But when your brother teach about it, we don't know. But when the Europeans, we be so amazed. But they sit under my feet. When I do my oral dissertation, I get all these books given the shit to me. Why y'all think I got so much shit that people don't have? I ain't buying all this shit. I can. I can. I love to. A lot of stuff be given to me. Listen to this, y'all. And we almost done because we've been going for an hour. And we've been going for longer than an hour. So I'll end with this. One rainy April morning in 2011, I requested Thomas Jefferson's Quran from the rare book room in the Library of Congress. Outside, tulips blazed in bright patches of red around the Capitol building. The flowers reminded me of their origin in the Ottoman Empire. In the Ottoman Empire. In the Ottoman Empire. In the Ottoman Empire. So that book I just showed y'all, that's sitting on the library shelves, that's been sitting in every history room. I mean, in every school. It's been there forever. It's a little red book. I show this all the time. I show this little red book all the time. Been sitting in your kids' libraries everywhere. It's right here. Let me put it on so everybody can see this book. I show this little book right here all the time. This is everybody.
Red book.
Yeah, it's the history of the reign of Ferdinand and Isabella. This is one of the major wars everybody should understand. When I say we don't even know all the wars in history, just like we talk about the Moro War in the Philippines, all these wars. And then when you look it up, you can see all the military soldiers taking pictures in front of all the people that they killed. So as I finish, okay. She said she requested the Quran from the rare book room Library of Congress. Outside, tulips blazed in bright patches of red around the Capitol building. The flowers reminded me of their origins in the Ottoman Empire. The Sultan, what Sultan you think I'm talking about? Come on, have first sent them as a diplomatic gifts to European rulers in the 16th century. And by the mid-17th, the trade of the bulbs of these plants had reached a frenzy pitch in the Netherlands. So now let me go to the Netherlands. When I talk about who are the Netherlands, Swordy Paya, aka Black Pete, right? The Corsica flag, right?
Same person that saw when he saw Barclay, he said that you look like what he say? He said he looked like a Netherland or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I might have it wrong, but
yeah, exactly. They know. That's why I said, man, Moors be lying. They be afraid to be who they are because they don't know true history. They be on that religious Islam stuff.
Right.
So the Sultan had first gave them as diplomatic as gifts to the European rulers in the 16th century. And then by the mid-17th, the trade in the bulbs of these plants had reached a frenzy pitch in the Netherlands. Jefferson would add them to his garden at Monticello in 1806. And so it was that through contact with Muslims long ago, this stunning flower had eventually reached North America, where it now reigns as a sign of spring. Someone with nothing more than their request library card and the relevant call number. Before I even do that, that's why when these Moors, these Freemasons, I love everybody, but I like people to tell the truth. When they talk about the acacia leaf and they be Freemasons and stuff, they know. But they don't think you know. And then when I start breaking things up, I told y'all, man, I know who when they coming in. And then they play stupid because they into that haram of biff and buried in a shallow grave. And they're not going to tell you about all that who buried you, how the Jubilee. Talk about some widow's son and all this stuff, which is mystic crap. No disrespect to nobody. That's why I tell y'all, the European is not the joke of masonry. The Negro is. Because if you initiated the European, to let you know that he or she is a son of a Muslim. Point blank.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
In what year or time, or even not decade, but century, did they replace Muslim with Muslim?
Well, it never was replaced, Noble. You got to remember that. We talk about context. When in academia, when I tell people context, and linguistic apartheid or mistranslation or mistransliteration, that's why I tell Moors they have to be students, because we talk about context. Context, a person must understand the context, or they'll start saying, well, this ain't right and that ain't right. I said, based on what? Based on what context? How can we say that? That's why linguistics is imperative and context is imperative. That's why in scholarship, when I speak, I tell Moors, if you don't understand context and if you don't understand subjective and objective and you're not here willing to learn, you can't have no conversation or sit at my fucking table.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Because we talk about, I'll give you a plain analogy. I'll give you a plain analogy in this context, Noble. Make it plain. In this context, when we talk in more Muslim, a Muslim can be made just like a fucking Freemason. But a Muslim is born. A Muslim is born from his mother, 9 to the 9 to the 9 power of 9. Now, I ain't talking about what's inside of your fucking brain, because that comes from what's inside of you. That's the astrology that's inside of you. Whatever inside come out. And then your upbringing and your makeup. But in this context, when we talk about we talk about Muslim and Muslim, man, a Muslim is born and not made. A Muslim can be made. Just like a fucking Freemason can be made. Islam?
Yeah, you joined it. So what is an initiation?
Per se. But then, yeah, and now, see, I love these, but also now in the form of initiation, the type of Islam we under, it's good to be under that form of initiation, because I just made it clearly, just like if you are more by birth, but being more-ish and being under the teachings is something else. Because it's a type of Islam that you have to be under, initiated with a sheikh and a guide and a map. That's the type of Islam we're under. And if a person don't want to rock with that, I don't got no problem with you. Going back to the place we found it, we ain't got no issue with you.
Right.
So I ended with that. Y'all got all the rest of the emails. I mean, Lamar can send them to everybody. If everybody didn't get them, I'll try to send things to those that's been, help, do the class. I want all of us to start speaking, because that's how we learn and read this stuff. So I give y'all gratitude for the time today, man. Love y'all family. And remember, no one said a weapon would form, but us together, nothing can prosper. That's why we operate on something bigger than ourselves. And when we go through storms, I tell Moors, if you're not operating on something that's bigger than yourself, you will give up. You would give up. It got to be something special about you. It got to be something peculiar. It got to be something unique about you. We got to be like squirrels in this context way. We know something. We know the fucking winter happened. We got to put up some fucking nuts for a rainy day. We just can't be partying bullshitting. And then we blow off 4 tires all at one time. We in panic mode.
Right.
So think about this, man, in life. Build yourself up in a particular way. Build yourself up. That's what this science is about. That's what this is about. Accountability. Look in the mirror. That's why you think a lot of people don't have mirrors in their house. Man, I'm trying to get as many mirrors in my house, because I make a promise to myself, not to nobody. I ain't trying to prove nobody wrong. Man, I'm proving myself right. Allah is continuing to allow me to prove myself right. This shit is fun. This is glorious. This is magnanimous. What's going on in this position to be connected, to the essence of Allah within, and all us brothers coming together, and we wonder twin fucking power operating. That's what what we talking about when you take a clay and you building something. I don't care if it's a bowl or a statue or whatever. And as you building with that clay, you might have your hands and you sculpting it. Then you might get your knife a little bit and you shave all that stuff up. And as you trying to get it right before you put it in the kiln, you might paint it, whatever you look at it, make sure it's right. And when you put it in that kiln, you want it to come out as perfect as it can be, right? And that's the same thing what we do with our life. This ain't no race. This ain't no competition. This is a continuing. Long as the breath is in me, I'm gonna continue to grind. I'm gonna continue to save. I'm gonna continue to talk to my empress. I'm gonna continue to talk to my sister and convince them and be like, hey, well, shit, don't be mad at me for convincing you great.
I got a question for all my nobles, for the fans, for the tribe. The acronym for Muslim. Does anybody know what book that's in? I know we have it, but I can't find it. I've been looking for the acronym for that. It's muscles, organs, system, limb, eyes, and what's the him? I'll put it in the text in a chat group, nobles. Okay, gratitude.
I'll put it in the chat group. Just like we talk about signs and symbols, and just like Allah and YHWH standing up symbolizes man. That's why I be telling my Hebrew Israelite brothers that be under that cloth. I said, man, y'all have no idea if y'all don't have the science. If they don't have the idea of my books, Nobles, volume 1 through 4, which y'all have, they have no idea. Because that's the makeup. That connect God and man as one, which is more science. That'll remove all their feelings. That'll remove all the stuff. Because I know they don't have it. I know most of our Moors don't have the Hebrew text. I know most of our Moors that say they Hebrew Israelites don't have the text before it was written in English, for you can reveal the mistermination. When they be reading English words, like in the Bible, the word polero is a Greek word called to magnify, to bring back to its remembrance. And that little easy quote, I can show them how they misquote everything, and they'll be huffing and puffing. But a lot of those brothers are not educators. The spirit only can get you one way. You can't go on the Quran just where I'm gonna use the spirit of God. You don't know no fucking law. Spirit of God, you can go to jail. God, you don't know no motherfucking law.
The first thing though, that when people go through this process, and I'm gonna speak for me, is a place of emotion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When they get hit with the truth. And I only speak from my experience, but also there was a little not TikTok, but on YouTube they have those little short stories that everybody like posted. And Tom Hanks was on there, and he was learning about Oklahoma, the massacre, right?
Mm-hmm.
1921. And then he said he was upset. And I said, I thought that for a minute. Here it is, what we call a European or a white person is upset about not knowing the history and why they lied about that, right? And covered it up. He said, I learned about this 2 years ago. I ran into when I was in Cancun, I ran into a guy named Jerry. His two friends, two European dudes, Jerry and Jerry. They're his best friends since high school. He told me he just found out 4 years ago about Tulsa. So we had a nice conversation. So the funny thing is, Tom Hanks said he was upset. So you have to imagine what our people, when they find out information, that it actually it has more so to do with them than a European. But a European is still a human being because that is the race,
mm-hmm,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, he has a right to be upset because he wants to learn truth.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who wants to learn truth is going to be upset at this information. So if people aren't upset about it, then they must be benefiting from where they're at and not going to they're not really in the human aspect of humanity.
So let me ask you a question, because these I understand. So in counseling, how I counsel people, children, adults, because we have to have conversations. That's what we don't do in our community. So when anger and when mad comes, what's the next step? Because if you angry about history so much, and I'm not saying y'all, if a person angry about history, and it's a group of people angry about history, what we gonna do? Here it is, we got somebody that's teaching history. So if we know 10 people angry like I am, and then they know 10 other people, shit, we need to be coming and learning so we can release the fucking anger.
There's the answer, learning, coming and learning.
I'm shit. That's why I'm always giving solutions. When I say anger, shit, when I talk about narcissistic behavior, it's good depending on how you channel it. So if a person angry about history, shit, what they gonna do about it? And we talk about adults. We talking about adults that got children. So why they mad, they ain't gonna teach their children, because we can be releasing this science to our children so they can go up and ask questions and give them all the research. But Negroes, grown people, so upset they want to be fucking angry. That's why I'm saying.
You don't find out together. You find out separately. So it's not like.
I agree, but I agree to disagree, Noble, because we all here. I agree to disagree. I know I'm with you, but I agree to disagree because we all here. If I want to seek out something, I'm gonna seek it. Just like if I know you and I'm looking for history and I connect to you, shit, there it is. The sin is me rejecting it. That's why I keep telling people they so mad and angry they ain't gonna do shit about it. They so mad and angry they ain't put no money to nothing.
It's a process. It's a process.
I get that. I hear you, Noble. But I'm saying that's why we always say time waits for no man. Then I ask the person, well, what's the process time? Then everybody be saying it's a process. I said, okay, so what's the process? My process might be different from yours. So if a person can then say, well, process, shit, we'll never get nowhere. Well, a process, we wait 10 years. It's the process. I ain't gonna never say no. Yeah, it's a process, Sheik. It's a process, Malik. I ain't gonna never have nothing. It's a process. And then you say it for 10 years. Or it's a process. I'm gonna stop cheating on my wife. Or I'm gonna start smoking crack. It's a process. It's a process.
I'm only speaking from experience.
I know. That's why when I speak on things that's personal, I say me or I stay out of it. I say for myself. I don't throw it all out there because for me, that's excuses for everybody. They say, well, I ain't doing this, or say, well, it's the process. How long is the process? I'll give you an analogy. You say it's the process. I'm gonna start working out. I want to get in shape. But Malik is working out in the process. Malik's process is getting in shape. Malik is doing it. In the process, he's gonna get the fuck where he want to be because he's doing the fucking process. If a person want to learn something, the process is doing. The process is action. It's something on your behalf. That's why I keep telling people. That's what it talks about the divine and the physical. We got to match. Just because a person thinks something got to happen now. You angry. That's an emotion. Now what? That's just like anxiety. That's just like anxiety, Noble. I'm a counselor. People get excited. Then what? What you gonna do with it? I'm mad. What you gonna do with it? You gonna test some shit up?
Some more.
Come on, man. We don't make excuses when we adults, man. I understand what you're saying for adults, but I'm not mad at truth. I get excited. That's the Holy Spirit, and that's what I'm trying to say. It need to be focused. The energy need to be focused, because what we mad at truth. That's why I said this truth should make us mad. This truth should illuminate me.
The truth that make you mad is the fact that you've been lied to.
By who though?
By the school system. That ain't teaching you.
I disagree. See, and there you go. I promise you. And so let me give my perspective. I went through the same public school system y'all went to. My mother educated me in the house. So all the school I went to, every time, home. And I went to public schools. I went to all the and every time in history, I wrote history. I showed y'all when I was a kid all those history, but I wrote from history. I got introduced to the more stuff, but when I was reading that stuff back in the day in these Greek books, and I was reading MOHR when I was 10, 12, I didn't know what that was. I didn't, and I didn't ask. But I got all the stuff when I was highlighting. When I was 10 and 12, I'm highlighting words, MOHR. You know? So that's all I'm saying, Noble. I agree. Peace, Noble Barclay. I agree, but a lot of times this stuff would be in a household. I know more that got kids, Noble Malik, and they too busy being angry, and they got kids. You got 5 fucking kids. I'm mad, but and send your kid to the public school and don't give them no scholarship in history. They combat it. You shouldn't be mad because you got these babies right here that can fill this void, but we too focused on ourselves.
I was in my 30s.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad no more. But that's why I said this science don't make.
I was mad back then.
I'm saying even when I started learning more, it made me feel better. No anger was for me. Because remember, my brother was murdered. So I was looking for right. I wasn't angry. I was angry at that fact. So information made me feel good. Information made me look at my brothers different. Because I wanted to tear everybody's fucking head off. I'm gonna be straight up. I looked at brothers as the enemy when my brother was murdered. Every nigger I saw as the devil. If you said breathe close to me, I probably would have went nuts. That's why I moved. That's why this means something to me. That's why I'm serious with this science. This shit changed your life. You can't be angry with this. It'll destroy your whole relationship. It'll destroy you'll be at work mad as hell, like somebody, look at these Europeans, mad as hell. Scared to wear your fez in public because you done said so much crazy shit. I'm telling you, I just keep it real. This is love. I go around people, I'm love. I just keep it real with my people. In regular life, I am love. I'm love. This science is love. I love to talk about it. I be at the UPS when I be shipping y'all shit. Europeans be coming up to me, preachers. Well, can I just talk about you, man? It feel like God stepped off the truck. Absolutely, sir.
So what I do when people get information, I tell them like some of this might strike an emotion for you. but just be in control of that emotion because you're seeking for something that is going to touch you eternally. So that's why I went through what I went through, so that when I do tell somebody that I can help them get beyond that point, because that point for some people can be a distraction if they don't have the information. So that's why I went through what I went through, so I can help other people.
Hey, Noble, that's why you are a map and a guide. That's why I tell our brothers what's wrong with having a map and a guide. When you got the information, you suck it out. You suck it out. We here. A map and a guide. More we want to be mad at their family because your family only can take you to a certain level. And then you got to seek that out. You were a guide of this. You didn't go in your corner and got some information and tried to figure that shit out for yourself. If you did, you wouldn't be here. You was man enough. You had enough gratitude enough in you.
Right?
Yeah. You knew what the God within. You was like, wait a minute, this brother, let me see. You courted me. And that's what I'm saying. You a guide. And most people get something and then try to, and it blow them up. Information like you, and the prime analogy, a person that gets something and it can destroy you. Like I said, when you get something, it can do good or harm. Just like Hitler took the swastika and turned it. It could do good or harm. That's what I tell people. They get a piece of, yes, Noble, they get a piece of wisdom because they're criminals and go crazy. Your heart was pure. And that's what I tell people. Your heart got to be pure. Many are called, but only a few are chosen. Our heart is pure. You didn't get a little bit of information. Looking me up on YouTube and then run out there and try to offer to open up a temple. I got a little bit off YouTube and go out there and do a whole bunch of stuff and be like, damn, I can't come back to this brother because he was right here clean. I wanted that be on them. You a guide, Noble. So if anybody come around you with the signs, you're going to be a prophet and an angel, which you are, and introduce them to the class. You're going to give them a little something, say, man, come to class. We open the doors. That be the problem with Negroes, because they don't see God in their own brothers. That's what I'll be saying. They don't see the resurrection, and that's what it is. We miss it. Our one-on-ones tell us clearly what a prophet and angel are. It ain't just me. Y'all divine ministers. Y'all are guided. Y'all initiated. So when people come around you, hell yeah, you're supposed to give light. Now, when you give that light, you don't got to stay there and water it. It's on them to water it. Remember that. You planted a seed. Now it's on them to come back for watering. It's on them to come back for nurturing. It's on them to come back for tilling because you planted that fucking seed. It takes both. You did your job. That's why I tell people, they like, you did your job. We invite people in. That's why Moors ain't looking for nothing, because soon as they come for a couple dollars, they want it. They want something real fast and they leave. I already be knowing who people come. That's why I'll be laughing. I'll give you everything you want. I will give it to you. I don't mind.
They heart ain't right.
Huh?
They heart ain't right.
Yeah, I'll be cracking up. I'll be laughing.
That's why you need healing when you go through this process.
Yep.
Though. That's real talk.
Yep.
You gotta be healing.
Yep. They always want a book. Just like the new brother. I'm gonna keep, man, I want to get that book. Here you go. I sell books. You can have everything. Oh, hey, she hit me an email. She can I get it? Yes. You pay me. Yep. Them shit's gonna be Fuji dust.
Or they'll be like somebody else that was here before.
Yep, and get in trouble. I'll be telling Moors, I say, and just like you just said, Malik, Moors be so mad, they try to get something like in the book and think they finna fix something and get their whole family in shambles. Like that little green book, I'm finna cancel corporate debt, and Moors get in trouble because they be coming in with the wrong energy. So you just made a clear example, and I just made a clear example on both ways. I'm agreeing with you. We agree, and we giving scenarios. So neither one of us is wrong. The heart got to be pure off top. Because yes, being angry is emotion. But when you angry, how you channel it? Do you come back?
Here, two different situations.
Yep.
Two different paths.
Yep. If something happened, just like if I was an alcoholic, just like I was a drunk, and I got my mentor that I call on, and something happened, I'm like, damn man, I lost my job, finna get drunk. No, I need to be calling Noble Malik. Noble Malik, like, where you at, Sheik? I'm on my way to get you. He don't give a shit what time it is. Boom, no hell, man, what the hell, blah, blah, boom, 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 accountability. Man, I talk to you all day. I know you were what? That's what we do.
Islam.
Hey, I understand this. That's why I said, yes, emotion is right. It's how we channel it. People would love to have what we have. I told y'all the mental health in the misnomer Black community, they don't get on the couch. We don't talk. Men got shit bottled in. And as soon as they hear something wrong from the people that love it, you ready to tear some heads off. This more science is love, not anger. Not, oh man, look what they done did to us for years. They done lied to us. Ain't nobody lied to your motherfucking ass. Excuse my candor. Ain't nobody lied to you. Nobody lied to you. No one told you the Messiah was white. Show me in the Bible where it say Jesus is a white man. Ain't nobody told you that shit. You ain't read it. All images. So I love y'all, man. And if anybody want to learn, become a student and a member. If anybody gave donations to Cash App, $KGB, you can get literature. Hit us up, man. Don't just be a log sitting here jumping on our IG page and y'all know we a temple in the school. If you just here for Negrotainment, I'm gonna block you. So I asked my sister that's on Instagram, please write all those names down, because if more is not serious and they don't want to support what we do, and I understand, it's a lot of different TV shows and whatever out here on More Science and people, sovereign citizens, and they G.I. Joe in the streets and they security. Morris can do that.
Don't they gotta read?
Yep. So I love y'all, man. And any questions? Let's do our Moorish American prayer, man. And our benediction if Alonzo's still here. If not, I'll do it and we can get out of here.
Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. By night and by day, through the Holy Prophet, through Ali, Amen, Ashe, Shalom Alakim, Inshallah, peace, 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 and Ashe.
Noble Alonzo here still? He gone?
Yeah, he is.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Gratitude, Noble, for the benediction.
May the benediction of Allah be upon thee and thine, always, as thou shouldst strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon thy brethren, and do the best to shun thine evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let truth be the shield in the manifest battle of falsehood. Know that Moors need not to pick the locks to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal death. For behold, the keys to salvation already rest within thine own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconsistency, there still is the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, lengthen thy age, and give thee everlasting peace. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Haq, Ya Muhammad. Islam, Ashe, peace, 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 peace. Holy Aisha, Amen and Amen. Here at the BBT, we stand on truth. And when we say Al-Haq, that is truth, the truth in Arabic. When we say Al-Muhammad, that's the protector. So we stand as truth protectors. And we invite you to stand on truth and join with us. And for those that are seeking truth, truth has no sides. Truth is one, as man is with Allah. And with that, we say peace, and love.
And love.
Peace,
Peace, peace, peace, peace, peace, peace. See y'all tomorrow for workout in Sunday school, man. Love y'all, man. Peace and love. More power. More power. Let's go, champ.